Well, welcome to the Hospitality Playbook, your go-to space for real talk, real stories, and real strategies from the world of hospitality. So take a seat, get inspired, and let's kick off today's episode. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing this morning?
Good.
We're
good.
Welcome to Liv Hospitality's Hospitality Playbook. We've got a fun episode in store for everyone today. Welcome to our episode that I'm going to affectionately call Hospitality Gone Wild. And we're going to dive into some of the strange, funny, unbelievable stories from the world of hotel, restaurant, casino, and everything in between. I'm Caleb Arsenault, your host for today. I'm the CEO of Liv Hospitality, and I'm going to let the rest of the group introduce themselves. We'll go around the table. Dave.
David Kleinsma, Chief Information Officer for Liv.
Ken Klug, Chief Financial Officer.
Britton Simmonsma, Chief Revenue Officer.
Katie Radigan, Chief Operations Officer.
Well, we have a lot of experience and a lot of years around this table and a lot of stories, and I can't wait to get into them. If you've ever worked in the hospitality industry, you all know it's never boring. We're open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and the strange, the odd, the unbelievable happens all the time in our world. So let's go ahead and kick some things off with a story. And I'm going to kind of divide this into different little topics of discussion, if you will. And the first one I want to start with is request. Weird, odd, or outlandish guest requests. So think back to your time when you were maybe at the front desk or walking around the casino floor, table touching in a restaurant. What are some odd requests you've received over the years?
We had a guest, it was like odd but also really cute. He was celebrating his birthday, and you know, like when you're booking online, you can put in notes or requests, and his was Lucky Charms and a pot of gold. So we had a lot of fun with that one. It was really cute, but that's the one that I think I'll always remember.
And is that like a package? Do we get to upcharge for such
No,
fees?
we probably could have, but I did not because it was his birthday.
That's
and
a
those
little
are a big
lagniappe.
deal.
A little
Yeah.
extra, right?
Yeah.
A little extra.
It was really
Very
cute.
cool. How about other odd requests?
The one that sticks out in my mind, it's not really odd, but it was when I was working the front desk and we had just opened the hotel. They were celebrating their anniversary and she wanted chocolate-covered strawberries. There was nowhere in town that sold chocolate-covered strawberries. We didn't make those in our restaurant. So I went home and did my best at making some beautiful chocolate-covered strawberries, which was the first
nice.
and only time, but she ended up with her strawberries.
Very cool. Way to give the guests a little on you, going above and beyond.
Yeah, it was fun.
Outstanding. How about you, gentlemen? Any odd guest
Most
requests?
of my stories come employee driven, as in IT, the employees are my guests. I don't know if we want to hold on them.
Absolutely. No. We can go associates or guests.
Yeah. Well, in the IT world, people ask for weird things often and often don't help themselves in a lot of it. So I know one of the more famous ones I remember is having to drive up to Deadwood to assist a bartender whose TVs weren't working, she reported. Show up, the screen just says, "Hey, there was an issue. Please reboot your cable box." No, you ask her, "Did you do that?" "No." "Well, guess what fixed it?" Just a quick reboot, but hour drive later, that was fun.
Sometimes we just need to be told, I guess. It's okay to unplug it and restart it, right?
If it's asking you to do something, let's try that first.
Sure. Ken, any associate or guest odd requests?
No.
Not really.
The only thing I get is password resets, but
You get passwords reset? Oh, yeah,
For
you get all
intact,
the intact ones. Mm-hmm.
So I guess the one that always sticks in my head is we had a bit of a celebrity. It was a person that was in the presidential race. He was a presidential candidate. Stayed at one of our hotels, and his wife had a really odd request. She actually loved grilled cheese sandwiches, and but she wanted them a very, very specific way. So she called up to order some room service, and she wanted a grilled cheese sandwich. But it had to be cut in triangles and crustless. And again, just the way she likes it, I guess. But this very high-profile person wants their grilled cheese done a certain way. And a lot of times, we play host to a lot of celebrities, and we'll get into some of those discussions too. But sometimes the celebrities have some of the most outlandish, really above and beyond requests. So we got her triangles, crustless grilled cheese sandwiches, and we were off to the races. Made her day.
Have we ever had any of the famous, I want a bowl of M&Ms and only brown ones kind of things?
I haven't had
None of those?
That's my knowledge. No, only green M&Ms? No.
We've had requests to remove furniture out of guest rooms and stuff like that every now and then, but not all brown M&Ms.
And again, there's a lot of years in the hospitality industry sitting around this table, and I'm sure we've forgotten more stories than we're remembering in terms of some of these weird requests. So I would encourage our audience that might be listening to this, just drop your story in the comments. It'd be fun to read them. Yeah. I really would love to hear some of the odd requests that you've received over time, especially front desk agents. I feel like you get all of the cool stuff. You get all those requests. How about, let's move to our next topic. If we don't have any other weird guest requests, how about items left behind in hotel rooms? Some strange, odd, unique items that might have been left behind in guest rooms that you've either heard about or personally experienced yourself.
So in Deadwood, in the Wild West, we found in the nightstand drawer, one of the housekeepers, like the big giant belt full of the giant bullets with the big 6-shooter gun. Like, I've never figured out how you forgot to pick that
your weapon up.
Just leave
your weapon
your
up.
ammunition and weapon behind.
It was an interesting item.
We've found, and I think that's an interesting point. We've found weapons in rooms, and we oftentimes do. Double digits over the years, right? So I think it's really important that our team understands how to treat that, what to do when they do find a weapon. You never know if it's loaded or not, and obviously the safety and security of our guests and our associates are paramount. So weapons being left in rooms, especially in the Midwest. Like, we have hunters, we host hunters all the time. Hunting season this time of year is infamous for that. So if weapons are left in a room, what should we do?
I call the police. They can handle it. I'm not touching it. And I don't encourage anybody else to touch it.
And one of the major reasons, obviously if it's a hunting rifle or a shotgun, it might be a little different, but the best policy is to not touch it, because you don't know what that weapon's been used for. And if you want to throw your prints all over that, might not be the smartest move in the world. So, but yes, weapons, handguns, rifles, shotguns, we find those, knives, we find those in the room quite often. How about anything else found in rooms?
I don't have any interesting stories, but I got a little PSA. Is that any of those flash drives, charging cables, anything that you would plug into a computer, don't plug it into a computer. There's a lot of nasty stuff that can be on those things.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah, hacking tools that are disguised as a charging cable. Yeah, instruct teams: do not take it from lost and found. Do not plug it into any of the computers.
Because it's a way for hackers to get into your system of physically accessing.
No, that stuff is scary.
Networks. Absolutely.
Just leave it alone.
Were you at La Quinta when the Highway Patrol was having a conference or a meeting of some type? And so there's probably 20 or 30 Highway Patrol cars in the parking lot. And so someone had woken up and opened the window shade, and they just bailed out, and they left a pretty good sized bag of some controlled substance in the room.
Yeah.
And,
Oops.
They flooded the stairwells, like the Highway Patrol. That was like one of a few instances where that building has seen quite a few officers. Yeah.
So somebody got a little spooked and just left everything behind. Tailed out of there.
I can recall a situation in our company years and years ago where there was a bag of weed found in a room that an executive decided they were going to handle. I still don't know to this day
Where it went.
That person is no longer with our company,
Don't
but
wanna know.
I feel like the authorities should have been called and the contraband given to law enforcement. But our executive at the time decided he was going to handle that one, take care of it.
He was going to dispose of it.
Yeah. But, because of our proximity to some of the surrounding states with legalized recreational marijuana and things of that nature, it's obviously not legal here unless it's medicinal. So, we find that it is an illegal substance. And oftentimes that's left behind in the room. You guys ever found any like prosthetic limbs or anything of that nature left behind in rooms?
Teeth. Somebody left their
Teeth,
dentures.
the
Yeah,
dentures.
that's a big one. I don't know how you forget to put those back in, but
There's the spare.
I heard a story about a prosthetic limb being left behind, and I'm thinking, don't you need that?
Yeah.
Like,
it was their running one, not their walking one or something. I don't know.
yeah.
Oh,
Like,
they had a couple.
Man, take your limbs with you.
Yeah.
But, you're in a hurry. You got to get rolling. And
Yeah, and if you
sometimes
have
leave
kids
things.
or pets or, it's chaotic trying to get out of a hotel sometimes.
Yep.
How about animals? Any stories of animals left behind?
Yeah, I've learned cats really love living in the box springs of the mattresses. So there's, more times probably than I can count where cats have been lost in the guest room, and we'll always find them in there.
They climb up in the box spring.
Yep.
And hide in there. Interesting.
Super common. If you're ever missing your cat, that's where it is.
Check the mattress.
There was like the first time it happened, we literally went on a manhunt because the guest was like, it is somewhere roaming in this hotel. And our maintenance engineer walked in. He's like, no, I guarantee you it's in the bed. And the guest is like, no way. And it was in the bed. A hamster, or a gerbil or something. And I think it was in the guest room for quite a while. But he was living his best life.
Things people travel with.
I know. Birds, not left in rooms, but they travel with birds often.
And anymore, I think as a hotel, if you're not pet friendly, you're missing out. Like, people will not travel without their pets oftentimes, especially dogs. Yeah, so it's a big deal. Just don't leave them behind.
I know.
Don't forget them.
Yeah.
It's your best friend. Come on, bring him with you.
I couldn't imagine letting my gerbil just run around my hotel room.
Got out of the ball.
I don't know. That's just not for me.
So I've heard stories of guests trying to cook in their rooms, not an extended stay, so it doesn't have any cooking utensils. Obviously, it has microwave, but apparently the iron is used as a hot surface for cooking. Have you ever experienced that in your
That's new to
travels
me.
around? I mean, it gets hot,
Well, I suppose.
so you can cook an egg or a steak or
Grilled cheese with that thing.
grilled cheese. Triangles with
Make
no
perfect
crust.
triangles.
With the crust off.
How wild is that, though? Like, I don't think I want my food in contact with that surface. I just feel like that's not good. Or boiling pasta or something like that, or a soup of some sort in the coffee pot. Because, again, you have a heat source. So people will use the coffee urn or the little pot to...
We don't have a lot of those anymore, though.
Right, the K-cups is
Yeah.
the way to
Yeah.
go. It's really...
Still
Much
have
more
the microwave
sanitary.
though.
Yeah.
Never know what's gonna happen in there.
Boy. Some of the blow-ups we've seen in microwaves. Like, you can't put that in there.
It's like there's three things. It's a cup of noodles without water.
Yep.
It's a popcorn for 10 and a half minutes. Or it's a gas station burrito, those huge ones.
Yep.
It's one of those three things all of the time.
Burnt popcorn smell lingers for a while.
Yeah. Well, we've had one where a microwave actually caught on fire. Like full building evacuation because they, I don't know, couldn't smell it or something.
Well, you were trying to do 1 minute, you did 10 minutes, and you forget about
Or
it.
they walked away and
Correct.
forgot about it.
What about other stuff like blood paraphernalia, or is that just too common in the industry? I
It's
think
pretty common.
Yeah.
So needles are a thing. Right?
Super
So
common.
you have diabetic needles, you have illicit drug needles. And again, training for the team to just make sure that they know how to deal with sharp objects and how to dispose of them properly, so that you don't, accidentally get infected by what might be on that needle. So, but we do find needles in rooms fairly frequently, more frequently than you would think.
And not disposed of. And the crazy part is 9 times out of 10 they are diabetic needles, but the guest is stuffing them in the mattress or in between the mattress and the box spring, or just like super, super dangerous.
Yeah, those operators listening probably know, but
Yeah.
anybody who's not.
It's a big, those are pretty common.
And correct me if I'm wrong, did we find a body once?
Multiple times. We've had someone pass away in our room. Happens, again, probably more frequently than people realize, and it's always a very difficult day and week for our team. Just recently found an elderly man passed away in the room, natural causes, but I mean, it happens, right? We host hundreds of thousands of guests a year, and it happens. It's sad. And
It is
knowing how
sad.
to deal with it.
Yeah, and many other industries don't have to deal with something like that.
But I think by and large, so, most of us probably wouldn't buy a car that was a rental car because you drive it like a rental. And I think people treat our hotel rooms and some of our hospitality spaces in much the same way, right? If I'm going to dye my hair, I'm going to go to a hotel and dye it so that I don't have to
Oh, yes.
deal with the mess at home.
Right.
So we get that where we have...
It's like the girls' sport competitions. Everybody dyes their hair. Everyone.
Lots of
Pink or red or
hair dye,
Yeah.
glitter. Yeah, glitter's
Total.
a good time to clean up.
So our housekeeping and maintenance teams are rock stars. I mean, they're always dealing with those kinds of things that are left behind in rooms. Sometimes they won't. You have to remove them physically. Like they're in the carpet. You have to replace the carpet or what have you. So, yeah, no, it's definitely real.
There was a time somebody was burning candles like on the carpet or something. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I just know there was a lot of candle wax on the carpet, and our maintenance team literally with an iron, like in a towel or something, and just worked all day. I was like, wow, that was pretty impressive. I never would have thought of doing that. That's for sure.
Sounds like a Ouija board.
Yeah, I was like,
seance.
I don't know what happened in here, but I'll stay out until you got it.
We're such an event-driven market in both the Rapid City and Deadwood markets, and lots of special events. So Halloween, some of these holidays, we get just some of the strangest behaviors and things that happen. How about shifting gears to elevators? So any good elevator stories that you can think of? Obviously, all of our properties, every hospitality property has an elevator, and it sometimes can be used as a venue for behaviors that aren't for public consumption.
Sometimes people get really excited in an elevator and start
Jumping.
around and
It's the worst thing to do in an elevator.
Yes, for the general public, please understand the tolerances of weight in these elevators is set very specific. And if you're jumping or if you're creating a lot of movement in these elevators, it will shut down and you will get trapped in the elevator. And there's definitely a balance there when the elevator companies are setting these things up to hopefully prevent some of that, but stop jumping in the elevator, please. Because you're going to get trapped, and you're going to blame us for it. And the elevator company has to come in an emergency situation, try to get you out of there. It's not a pleasant experience for anyone.
it's not a quick fix either once that happens.
The system has to be reset. It has to reconfigure, restabilize. Like it's a whole
It's
thing.
not cheap either.
No. And everybody feels a little bit different about getting stuck in an elevator. So if you don't want to do that, don't
It's not my
be
favorite
jumping.
thing.
So I personally have been stuck in an elevator before.
With 20 people.
With 20
remember
people.
that.
And it was our own fault.
Totally.
We were in an elevator with obviously overloaded. And I will say the hotel management wasn't very nice about it. As soon as they opened the door, of course, the elevator was stuck like halfway. And then the doors open, so we're kind of looking underneath. And the manager's there like waving his finger at us saying, too many people, too many people. And I would have appreciated getting us out of the elevator, and then he could have yelled at us. But he yelled at us while we were in the elevator.
Oh, you had to listen then.
And, he did have a captive audience. But overloading the elevator, right? It is not a party venue. You don't want to party in the elevator. Take it to where you're going and be done. Party when you get there. Don't jump. And please understand, typically there is surveillance in the elevators. So your behavior is being viewed and recorded. It's not a private area. It is a public area. So handle yourself with the appropriate decorum. Yeah. Elevators are quite a trip. Any good elevator stories that you guys can think of? You know, we have the Alex Johnson Hotel, 100 years old. And those elevators have been there since the 50s.
The 1950s were quite a fascinating
Uh-oh.
decade.
Wow, they were.
Thank you, Siri.
Sorry. But those elevators are really temperamental with weight and with parties. Like, be kind to our old elevators. And they are getting a bit of a makeover. So hopefully they'll get a little more solid. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Any
I
other
don't-
elevator stories?
I don't have anything good except the typical somebody gets stuck, you got to go through the motions to get them out. That was it.
Yeah, it happens often, unfortunately. I mean, especially when you have that many cabs.
Yeah. They get a lot of use.
Trying to get back.
Not
to
just for us, I bet everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it just happens.
Power outage would be a bad thing.
And oh, yeah. We've had a couple of those
One or two.
with guests in them.
Yep.
I just couldn't imagine. It's like one of my worst nightmares.
I did get to ride on the top of one of our elevators during the inspection phase of opening the new hotel. I don't
do that again?
I don't need to do that again.
Yeah.
It was
That's
interesting.
a gutsy call.
One and done.
Well, it was, hey, do you want to do the inspection? Sure. Okay, can we go back down now?
This is the roller coaster queen, by the way. We had one.
Yeah, I should have known better.
I think we're going to have to strike that from our podcast. That's not OSHA approved. Sorry, OSHA.
Like crawling underneath the elevators because a guest has dropped something in between the tracks. That is terrifying and also happens more often than.
Did you do that?
No. Nope. But I have seen it done. I'm good.
And typically, we have to call the elevator company to do that because they have to put the brakes and the safety mechanisms in order to access.
And you have to get a ladder
Yep.
if there's not like a pit or,
Yeah.
a basement. Ooh, it's awful.
So we talked a little bit about cameras in elevators, but we have cameras all over the place. So obviously, we live in a day and age where everyone has a camera in their pocket. There's cameras in every building. There's cameras on every street corner. We are surveilled. So how about some interesting or outlandish stories that have to do with surveillance? Do you guys have any camera stories?
Well, the most memorable for me is the transformer explosion. I can't remember what time of year it was, but it was
Winter?
early. Yeah,
It was cold.
Was it
It
cold?
was cold.
It was
park-
early morning. One of the interior Watiki cameras looking towards the back of the building. You see the large electrical transformer beyond the windows, and you see a little puff of smoke, and then suddenly fireball. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was a pretty wild one.
That was crazy. So those transformers are filled with oil. They're literally a bomb in many ways. And there was a short, and it ignited the entire transformer.
I think that video ultimately went off to be a training safety video for certain.
It did. Yeah,
power
the electrical
co-ops.
company requested a copy of it
Wow.
to show why you should be careful around these things. So don't park in front of transformers.
No.
I mean, oftentimes they're sitting right adjacent to a hotel or in front of a parking stall, but yeah, that was wild. And fortunately, we did catch it on video, even though we lost power because
the battery backup kept going.
had a battery backup.
You saw the little fizzle when it switched, but yeah, it kept recording afterwards.
So my surveillance story is, and I have several, but the one that really sticks in my mind because it was so odd, was in a pool area, and it was just a couple in the pool that were being inappropriate with each other. And I was the manager on duty at the time for the casino, so I walked down, and we had manned surveillance at the time, and the surveillance operator said, "Hey, we got a situation in the pool. You mind going and handle it?" Sure, went down, and of course I go down there and I point up at the camera, remind them you're under surveillance. Kids may be coming in here. You need to be appropriate. And so I leave, and I get a call probably 10 minutes later. Same thing going on. So ultimately, I ended up having to kick him out of the pool for a little too much public affection, I'll say.
Crazy.
But you're on camera.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to remember that
Yeah.
our properties are surveilled, especially in the casino world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of surveillance in those worlds. So
Some people just don't care.
no, and this couple
And it might be a thing for them. Who
did
knows?
not want to comply, and I ended up having to ask him to leave. So.
We had a bat in the La Quinta on the third floor. I don't know. Yeah, it's when I was there, so years and years ago. And my AGM thought it would be a really great idea to grab the screen off of the third floor window and chase the bat down the corridor with the screen, trying to get the bat to fly out of the window. We were not successful, but it was pretty comical for, I don't know, probably 20 minutes, her and the screen and the bat, and then like the screaming, and yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It happens.
So
I missed that one.
me, we had an owl incident in Watiki one time.
Yeah.
Where there was an owl that somehow got into
Through the roof.
Watiki through the roof. And it was flying around, and we caught this on surveillance, but it ended up flying into a window and killing itself. And this thing went viral. Like, we had staff that were recording it on their phone. So it ended up going viral, and we were a terrible business because we kill owls. But it flew into a window, and so we had an owl death in our water park. But that's one from a surveillance standpoint I'll never forget. That was kind of that was wild. That was wild. We've had quite a few animal situations out at Watiki.
Yep.
We've had, and the wind out there is just insane.
Yep.
We've had like rabbit carcasses blow into our front doors there during storms, so, and tumbleweeds and other things. So, yeah, just wild. Any other surveillance or camera?
The SWAT team raid? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Police were following a guy, tracked him to one of our hotels, sent SWAT in, and got to watch them storm up the staircase and surround a room door, and all of that.
Hotel,
We evacuated into the restaurant.
with the exception of that room, and the guy was wanted for murder, and was considered armed and dangerous. So we had the full SWAT team, FBI. It
was, I don't know, 4-hour ordeal in literally the middle of the night. 2 a.m. I think we started, 2 or 3 in the morning.
Your rest happened that morning after all the guests were
Awake for hours. Yeah.
But again, safety and security of our guests and our associates is top priority. I mean, you can't do it any other way.
It was honestly really awesome. Like, unfortunately he was there, but like they all came out of the restaurant when he was walking through the lobby, and they were just so thankful. Like, standing ovation for like the officers and making sure everybody was safe. So it was pretty cool at the end of it all.
Yeah, pretty stressful during it.
This episode of the Hospitality Playbook is brought to you by Liv Hospitality. Did you know Liv Hospitality operates 13 hotels, 4 premier resorts, and a portfolio of standout restaurants? Behind every exceptional guest experience, culinary innovation, and high-performing team is a management group built for results. Whether you're an independent hotel owner looking to elevate performance or a new investor seeking trusted operators, Liv Hospitality offers full-service management built on decades of operational excellence. From luxury to leisure, every touchpoint is tailored to your property's identity while driving strong returns. If you're thinking about what's next for your property, think Liv. Let us show you what's possible when passion meets performance. Visit livhotelgroup.com, that's LIV hotelgroup.com to learn more.
How about power outages and storms? Any interesting stories from those times?
Power outages wreak havoc on IT equipment. I shudder when power goes out. But yeah, we had one recently, very long and extended throughout western South Dakota, eastern Wyoming. Those familiar with the area. It wasn't terribly long ago either.
Winter Storm Atlas.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. How much snow? I can't remember how many feet we got.
And wind.
But I was in Deadwood at the time, and most of the town was without power. It was the first snowstorm of the year, so
Early.
yeah, it was like first weekend of October.
Like October 1st, I thought, or something.
So trees still had all the leaves, but yeah, a few of us got to Deadwood, and then we were there for days, along with all the guests. Luckily, we had heat, power. The worst thing that we had was we didn't have internet, which
makes it hard to breathe.
Well, I don't know. Watiki, we didn't have anything. Power, heat, like, I just remember whatever we could find in the freezers, that's what we were feeding guests. Like, they were trapped out there. Any blankets, anything we could find, like, we were really digging deep to find everything.
Now, those not familiar with Atlas, we may need to explain how much snow we were talking about here.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
It was a lot. Now, I remember at home, trying to dig out my driveway, and I drive a Silverado, but it was over the hood. It was taller than the hood of the truck. So, I mean, there's no chance driving anywhere.
Yeah. It was feet of snow, and it was early in the season, so all the leaves were still on the trees. Right. There were massive power outages because of trees falling on power lines, and it was an ice storm, so it started as rain, then turned to snow. I mean, it killed cattle. It was one of the worst storms western South Dakota's ever seen. And it hit the entire state. So yeah, it was quite the emergency. It is, even the latest power outage, it's remarkable to see how our team galvanizes, though. It's really special. You can see the spirit to serve turn on in people. And they're all about helping. And it's just whatever you need, however I can get it, like finding food in the freezer. I mean, I can remember making spaghetti during Atlas, and I'm not a chef, folks. But it was edible, so it worked. I mean, it was all hands on deck. You did whatever it took. And it's
a bonding experience.
It is.
With the team.
It is.
So like you always remember who was there and what everybody did, and you get to know the guests a little bit more because they don't have anywhere to go either.
Right.
So it's kind of fun.
We don't want to do it very often,
No,
but it is.
once in a while,
There's definitely a silver lining to it.
Yep.
And it's pretty remarkable to see how the hospitality industry can just that service attitude and spirit to serve just switches on, and it's just remarkable. It's pretty special.
The one big power outage I remember was the Grizzly Gulch fire when the governor closed Deadwood. I mean, he forced evacuation. Everyone had to leave. Fires are ringing the town. I think it was 3 days it went without power, and then the cleanup after that was a good time.
Massive wildfire.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2001.
2001.
Oh.
Yeah, because the current ownership had just purchased it, and it happened on a Friday afternoon, I think.
So the one odd thing about those kinds of situations is a casino never closes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about, how do you lock down the building? Who has the keys to the front door to be able to lock them? Because we never lock them, ever. So it's always a challenge when those strange situations come around. It's, how do you lock down a casino?
It's very rare.
Very rare.
Well, it leads to the time when the casinos was closed during COVID, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
absolutely.
another strange situation. Sometimes you had your hotel still operating, but your casino was closed.
All the restaurants were closed.
Yeah.
Well, we closed everything except for one hotel and gift shop.
Yep.
We didn't have anybody there, but
Yeah.
a few travelers coming through.
Yeah, it was closed for 42 days during COVID
Yeah.
for Deadwood by city council order. The one thing about our industry, we're telling all these stories, how resilient we are is remarkable. Like, if you think about COVID and what it did to our industry, like, our industry is nothing without mobility. If you can't go someplace, we have no business. And that's exactly what COVID did. Everybody was hunkered down, locked in place, stay at home 2 weeks to prevent the spread and to lessen the curve. And then it turned into weeks and weeks and weeks. That is a testament to our industry to be able to survive. If we can survive that, we can survive anything. It was really, really unbelievable. So we have an incredibly resilient industry, no doubt about it.
We were one of the first ones open.
We were.
In the last
Deadwood
close.
was the only gambling establishment in the United States open.
How about let's shift gears to hauntings or paranormal activity. Any strange experience? Now, we have one of the most well-known haunted hotels in the entire country in the Alex Johnson Hotel. So do you have any stories?
Oh, I don't believe in any of that. That's just me.
You didn't go to the basement of the Alex Johnson during the power outage.
I was not there, but I have crawled around that building a lot of places.
It's a little spooky.
I did not. I was like, no, sir.
I was there.
I'll go up the stairs. I'll go upstairs. You go down.
We have a plethora of ghost stories. We have a book where people have written down their experiences. And there's definitely a following and definitely activity that goes on at that hotel. We've actually even been to the point where we have some of our guest workers have come in there and have refused to work there.
Yep.
Because the feeling and the lore and the stories they hear, like, they're very superstitious and they just absolutely will not work there.
I have family who won't stay there.
Really?
Yeah.
I have friends and business colleagues that will not stay there. There's a gentleman that works for Wells Fargo, and I will not name him here, but you know who you are, who will absolutely not stay there.
Yeah.
I just think he's a chicken, but he won't stay there.
Have you seen anything?
I haven't had anything happen. Yeah. And I have stayed there quite a bit.
I've not had an experience there. I've had an experience in other places, but never at the Alex Johnson Hotel. But lots of people have. I do have a crime scene photo of the bride that a retiring sergeant from Rapid City PD provided to us as he was outgoing. in 1934, despite what everybody thinks, she did not jump out the window.
Right.
Now, isn't it the 8th floor that's supposedly the most haunted?
It is.
Now, we're just finishing a remodel there.
Correct.
I think that affects anything.
That floor opens today.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I just hope she's not upset with us. And that, she's going to enjoy the new digs.
Mm-hmm.
It would be interesting to ask the crew that worked that if they
Oh,
had any
yeah.
encounters. Because
Oh,
they
sure,
probably
the
don't
work
know
crew.
the history of it.
There are totally stories that come from the associates out of there, for sure.
There are stories.
So my favorite story of the Alex Johnson involves our two very talented interior designers on our team, Paige and Kelly. When we first bought the hotel back in 2008, they came and stayed there for a couple weeks, taking measurements. Every room type or every room there is just different. Mm-hmm. So they had to physically take measurements of things and just really go through every inch of the hotel to determine how best to design it. Well, my favorite story is both Paige and Kelly, independent of each other, have stories where doors wouldn't open and someone was holding the door closed as they were trying to open it. Apparitions sitting on the bed next to them. And they'll tell you these stories. Like
Mm-hmm.
they have some real doozies. And Paige and Kelly, I'm sure you would agree with me. You're believers that hotel's got something in it.
What show came out? Ghost Hunters?
Ghost Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ghost Hunters did an episode, I think it was back in 2011 or 12. And they brought a ghost-sniffing dog as part of their show. So this dog would hit on areas that had paranormal activity. And they found it on 10th floor, they found it on 8th floor, they found it on 3rd floor and 4th floor.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that, but there's certainly some oddities that are uncovered each time we're in construction. And when I was visiting the construction team on 8th, we uncovered it again. There's a room, it's got a closet, and during the original remodel, there was coat hangers around this rectangular closet, but they noticed that the back wall was hollow. They opened it up, and the closet was actually T-shaped with this long, skinny bit that went back. But in that skinny bit, it was just a void that went the entire height of the building. But the strangest part of it was the coat hangers continued down and through that little void too.
Strange.
Didn't know what it was, but they made it safe, reclosed it back up, and it's anyone's guess why coat hangers would.
Well, we found
proceed
toilets in walls there.
there. Yeah, there was that too. Strange things you find in an old building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other ghost stories? Do we have any other haunted? I mean, Deadwood is well known for being a paranormal activity, a hub for activity.
Our buildings are all newer, though, but
But that doesn't preclude them from being
no.
haunted. Because we've built on sites of old buildings. Yeah.
I personally haven't seen anything there, but I'm sure there's something.
So if you guys had to think of the wildest story of your career in the hospitality industry, what would it be? Like the most unbelievable, just the one you tell people when you tell someone you just meet that you work in this industry. What is something or a story that's impactful that you go, can you believe this happens in my business?
There was, and I don't tell a lot of people this, but it was a New Year's Eve party out at Wautiki. So we're just inundated with kids, and it was only when Fairfield and La Quinta were there, so not the rest of the properties. Somebody went into the La Quinta bathroom and wrote poop on the wall in poop. And I just will never in my life forget that. But I'm just like, what in the world? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
So
but
can I
I'll never
clarify?
forget it.
They wrote poop in poop.
On the wall, on the partitions walls. Yeah. I was,
Yeah, that's one that'll
Animals.
stick with you.
Some people.
what in the
That is unreal.
world?
So if we could just take a moment and appreciate our housekeeping and janitorial teams and what they deal with.
Oh,
Like,
especially in the water park with your codes.
I mean,
Our code
seriously,
friends.
God bless them.
Yeah.
And I really would love to know who did that so that we can 86 them out of every property we have in our entire company.
Goodness.
14 years ago, probably.
Unreal.
Insane.
That's a good one.
I'll never forget it.
I always think one of the hotels in Deadwood, we had the U.S. Marshals show up, and we had no idea they were coming. We just had a whole bunch of them in the hotel, and they had some warrants for one of our guests. Arrested the couple that was staying in one of our rooms. It took the GM and I the majority of the day just to physically remove the stuff that was in the room.
And they were just there for like nights.
Yeah.
Like two-ish. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, just a couple nights. And they looked like they had been living in there for 6 months. Like they had everything that they owned. I mean, it was like just every inch of that place was stacked. Plus, they had a check forging setup.
Operation setup.
They had their very wild going out clothes. They had drug paraphernalia. We just packed everything up. It was pretty wild. I'll never forget that room.
I'll never understand why the criminal element in our society decides to go probably to the place with the most camera footage and coverage and the most ability to track. I guess the criminal element, if they were smart, they would do good things instead of bad things, right?
True.
But
That's true.
yeah, why do they choose a casino to go to do those kinds of things?
Part of they were also trying to forge casino tickets, which our
Money
machines
laundering.
wouldn't have ever accepted them, but they were creating little casino cash out tickets.
Interesting.
They were busy up there.
They were busy up there.
If they use their power for good instead of bad, I mean, just think how productive they would be.
If only.
Any other?
I remember when I worked at a casino, and they had a lady that was just really into it, and she didn't leave her seat for many hours.
Oh, yeah.
And then ending up wet her pants, just sitting at the machine and would not leave, even though somebody would have held it for her, just wouldn't stop.
That totally happens.
It is the saddest thing.
Way more frequently than one would think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's not the only, like Ken's story isn't the only time that has happened, unfortunately.
Blows my mind.
I have a similar story working a casino floor where I had to go behind someone and pick up with a scooper. And this person was elderly and not maybe with it, so it wasn't like but I mean, their caretakers probably should have taken better care.
Yeah.
Some of the things, I mean, just wild things you would never guess.
Mine are, well, then you have the coat hangers that get hung on the sprinkler heads.
Ooh,
That's a common one. Super common. Yeah. Or fire alarms being pulled.
Burnout in the parking garage.
Oh, yeah, the burnout in the parking garage.
Somebody with their dirt bike just having a good time in the middle of the night in the parking garage, and
Like 3 a.m.
3 a.m. filled the garage with smoke, fire alarms off. Katie happened to be staying there.
Yeah. And it was smoking in the garage, so we couldn't tell, like, if there was actually a fire. So standing out in the cold in South Dakota at 3 a.m. with 400 guests.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Insane. Just a good idea.
Yeah. There's no harm intended.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I had a ransomware thing. I don't know if that's something to talk about on this one.
Go for it.
Not
I mean,
really-
it's very traumatic. So
Not really a guest thing, but we had to deal with a lot of that. Oh, yeah. So, one of our casinos hit by ransomware a number of years ago now, and it just took down everything. It took down the... We pulled a lot of networks down just out of safety. Hotel networks were able to come back the soonest, but we lost the restaurant point of sales, the casino. We had to rebuild everything from the ground up. And that I don't ever want to relive that one. A lot of lessons learned on that. But it, I don't know what else to say. If anyone's been through ransomware before, it is devastating. And we learned that it was in our backups. Once we started pulling backups down, it was there, and it would re-explode once you restored that backup. So we had to go back a number of days, and thankfully we had all of that. But it was a number of accounting days lost. It was a number of historical things lost. And in the end, we did not pay the ransom. We were able to rebuild. But yeah, that was a rough time all the way around. I know your wife, Caleb, came out and was watching my boys during all that. And oh yeah, that was a rough time all the way around.
Yeah, you had I'll tell you, David and team, I mean, it was multiple days of working on it straight, and you guys did an incredible job. And you never pay the ransom. No. That's why these guys do this, right? If you pay the ransom, they'll do it again. So
make sure your stuff's in order. Make sure you got backups. Test your backups. Make sure you can go back to them.
And that whole experience made us better as a company in terms of being set up to handle things of that nature. So definitely a learning experience, but the work you and your team did was.
Yeah, no, they pulled through. There was a lot of really long days there.
And this ransomware took the entire network down for the entire Cadillac Jacks Resort. We could not do anything.
No, and I think we later learned that the same ransomware strain hit someone
healthcare. I thought it was.
Well, there was healthcare, and then I thought like a city in Alaska or something. But yeah, it was rough. But yeah, when with city, other places, and I'm going to toot my horn a little bit, but cities are down for 30 days or whatever. We were back in 4.
Yep.
But it's just, I guess that's part of hospitality. You just step up, you push, you get it done. You don't take breaks or days off, and you just bring what you need to the table.
Yeah, it is the epitome of business interruption.
Yeah.
Literally dead in the water.
Yep.
Yep. I guess my story would be, it's kind of one of my favorites. It's not super weird or controversial, but my first time staying at the Alex Johnson Hotel, my wife and I was in August, right after the rally. I think it was the Monday following the rally, or maybe that Sunday. I can't remember. But we decided to stay and experience the presidential suite. Well, the previous guests happened to be the band Kiss, if you've ever heard of them. So members of their band, I don't know who it was of their band that was staying in there. I'd like to think it was Gene Simmons, but had stayed in there prior to us. And I'm just going through, and there's this really cool living room place with some cool retro 60s, 70s style cabinets. And so we're just kind of going through opening them. And I open a drawer, and there's a glass pipe sitting in there from the band Kiss. And we had a new general manager at the time, so I called him, and I'm like, hey, I just want you to know I'm going to leave this in the drawer, but it's not mine. I wanted him to know that the CEO of the company wasn't leaving his marijuana pipe behind. But I got to hold Kiss's marijuana pipe at our hotel. They accidentally forgot it. I should have kept it. It'd probably be worth some money at some point, right? But just the things that are left behind in a room, I mean, it runs the gamut. And we've joked about a lot of the things we've experienced, and some of it's very difficult. The ransomware, the power outages, the
flooding. Flooding too.
Well, I also forgot, like within the time span of I think 45 days, we had 2 vehicles go through our buildings.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which I have never experienced, like actually through the hotel.
Reverse.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
We should start really just writing all of this stuff down and write a book someday, because it's unbelievable. And we really didn't get into the food and beverage side a whole lot, the kitchen operations. There's always a cast of characters that seem to work in our kitchens, and there's all kinds of things that happen. If you've ever not read the book Kitchen Confidential, I would highly recommend you read it. I think it gives a fairly good sneak peek into what food and beverage back of house looks like. But it really is the spice of this industry, though. At the end of the day, all of these things we discussed and all the things we've experienced just create what hospitality is. And it's part of the drag, but it's part of the allure as well. It keeps it fresh. It's exciting. There's never a dull moment. It's a bold industry, and you're dealing with such a cross section of society. And we have the privilege of serving every socioeconomic class, every race, creed, color, every person across the spectrum. So, it's definitely what keeps me engaged and involved and excited about our industry. And I'm sure there'll be more stories in the future that we can share, but I appreciate you guys sharing your tidbits and your stories. It's always fun to hear. I've heard some of them. I learned a few as well today. But it's always a pleasure to share those. And I encourage everyone in the industry to share those stories. And we would love to hear some of our audience stories. I mean, wouldn't it be cool?
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of comments. Just, tell us some of your most noteworthy experiences in hospitality and in this industry. And we look forward to hearing from you. Anything else, you guys, for the good of the cause we want to chat about? Any last stories? Anything pop back in your brain about what? It is hospitality gone wild. There's no doubt about it.
As you were saying, it's always something new. And Ken's safe story, when Ken told me about the safe, I really thought that,
okay, we were going to finish, but we got to tell that story.
That's a good story.
At that point,
I forgot about that. Sorry.
I thought I had heard everything. And I really thought Ken was pulling my leg when he was telling me about it. So you got to share that one.
Well, I had one of the controllers call me. I'm like, we had something happen here. I'm like, well, what happened? I'm like, I think I've heard of everything. And there's a night auditor that someone called, and they said, I'm so-and-so, the owner. And I got something, and I need you to go and take all the money in your till and drive across the street to the local gas station and buy me X kind of gift cards, and then come back and read the numbers off to me. And they go, okay, I'll go do it. And so this is a new person, and they go and run and get the cards and, read them off to this person. Like, is there any more money? Well, there's money in the drop safe. We have a drop safe. They're electronic. Then once you feed the bills in, a bill reader reads them, and then the money gets deposited in our bank account. But you need to get that safe open. So, I've got a screwdriver and a hammer. And so they proceed to take a screwdriver and a hammer, and for like 45 minutes try to pound their way into the safe and just demolish all the electronics of it. And then they finally go. The person on the phone is just yelling at them and just really putting the pressure on them to make this happen. And then they go, I've got to call my manager. So after they've been doing this for like 3 hours, they finally call their manager. Like, no, get off the phone, hang up. And
yeah.
But the safe is just demolished. And I got a picture. I'm like, wow, someone thought that was the way to go. And the person was very persistent that I'm one of the owners and so. And
it's hard when you're a night auditor and the owner's on the phone.
And new. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person was new is what really made it work, because if anybody had been there any length of time would have known that that's not how that's going to work. But
yeah.
So they got whatever money was in the till, they bought gift cards, and they lost that money. But they didn't get into the electronic safe. But that was quite the story. I had to drive out and take a look at that.
Amazing what you could do with a screwdriver and a hammer.
Oh my gosh. But they didn't get in the safe though, but they just destroyed it and cost us probably more money than was in the safe, because hotels don't normally have tons of cash
Yeah.
anymore in this day and age.
We've had gift card fraud before,
Yeah, we've
where
had that.
they receive a phishing email from me, and I'm asking them to buy gift cards, and our team does it. We've had that. So, yeah, every business faces this criminal element that's, and they can be very convincing.
Yep.
Especially if you get someone new on the phone posing as the owner. I mean, you feel bad for the team.
We had someone call one of the hotels and claim to be from customer support, and eventually got into the system. And they tried to reverse, do credits on a credit card. That's
Credits
what
on
they
a
tried
credit
to do.
card, yeah.
So there's a lot of
That was some
scams.
havoc.
Yep.
That was my 4 days of pain.
That was a mess.
That was a mess.
Yeah.
So many different scams and other things that we've seen over the years.
Fraud is real.
Yeah. Bad people. If they'd use if they would put that much effort into doing something useful, they'd probably be pretty successful at it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. All right. I think we're going to sign off, folks. Thanks again for your stories. We look forward to seeing the audience stories in the comments. Please share them. I know there's a lot out there. We have a great dynamic industry that we're a part of. So I look forward to hearing everyone's comments and stories. Till next time. Thanks for joining.
Thanks.
Thank you.
5 voices, 1 mission. Welcome to the Hospitality Playbook.
How do I stop this thing?
No.